In this video, we will describe the basic ideas of sampling. A random sample occurs when each individual object or measurement has the same chance of being chosen. Let's look at our cell phone usage data, and we added a column for counties, and these represent some counties in the state of Illinois, ranging from Cook, which is probably the largest in population, to DuPage, Kendall, and Kane. And let's determine if we were to draw a random sample using the ran-between function for our cell phone usage data, which counties would be represented. Here we use the ran-between function to generate 10 random numbers between 1, our first ID, and 100, our last ID in our database of 100 cell phone users. And as you can see, we then use VLOOKUP in order to generate which counties these users pertain to. Our VLOOKUP function, we looked up the user ID based upon the table array, which now includes county, and the column index we want to look up is our county index. Here is what our ran-between function generated, and as you can see, Cook is represented, the most populous county, about 5 times, but DuPage is only represented once, and that's a pretty large population as well. So let's look at other types of ways that we can sample from our database. A stratified sample occurs when we divide the population into non-overlapping groups of similar elements, like people or objects. These groups are called strata. Then take a random sample from each, and these samples combine to form the full sample. Let's create 2 non-overlapping groups, and let's sort our data by gender. And when you sort the data, you will find that there are 48 females and the rest are males. So let's use the ran-between function and the VLOOKUP function in order to generate 2 groups with similar elements, in this case by gender. Here we use the data sort function to sort the data by gender. So we place all the females near the top and the males towards the bottom of our column. Now we created a new ID called ID new, and we notice that there are 48 females. So let's use the ran-between function to generate 5 random numbers. So let's randomly select 5 females. And we click OK and generate that down. You can see that there are 5 randomly selected females. The 43rd female in our database used 491 minutes, and she resided in Will County. The user ID 21 is associated with a female who used 490 minutes and resides in Cook County. Then we did the same for the males. So we now created a new distribution with 5 females and 5 males. Now notice that still there are 2 of the 5 females that reside in Will County and only 1 in Cook, and Will is not as populated as Cook County. And the males generated a distribution where 2 lived in Cook County, 1 lived in DuPage, and 2 lived in Will. So some counties are not represented. What is systematic sampling? In order to select a sample of n elements without replacement from a frame of n elements, we divide uppercase N by lowercase n and round that result down. Calling the rounded result L, we randomly select 1 element from the first L and then select every nth element afterwards. Let's look at an example using our cell phone usage data. We would like to select 15 of our employees and review their cell phone usage. Let's do this systematically. So let's step 1 be selecting 15 out of 100. So we simply divide 100, uppercase N, divided by 15, lowercase n, and that comes out to 6.67. Step 2 would be to round down, so we would round down to 6. Step 3 would be to look at the first 6 and randomly select a starting point, which they call L in your text. So we will use the ran-between function. We want to randomly select the number between 1 and 6, and we click OK, and that is 4. So we're going to start with the 4th individual. And then from that individual, we will then count every 6th person until we receive our sample of 15. So here is our sample of 15 systematically derived. And just to finish systematic sampling, here is a pivot table analyzing our data by male and female and position and usage.